All right. Good afternoon, everybody. I it felt a little weird not streaming yet today, just with the change in schedule. I did get some interesting recording done. That took a lot less time, and I could take breaks whenever I needed to help with whatever I needed to help with, and it made it better for everybody else. And so now we are headed towards the Ashlands. I've kind of decided that this is going to be our last target. Given how just pathetic the United Cities was, there's not really any point in trying to fight anyone else. We're not going to have a problem with anyone. We've ended up just way too overpowered, even with fairly average stats on a lot of our guys, some of them with just pure weakling stats. The only defensible stat some of them have is their strength score. But we've ended up being strong enough to take out pretty much anyone we encounter. So we're going to go and attack Cat-Lon. We're kind of head canoning it. Head canoning it. Just got done eating Popeyes. My jaw is done. Crispy chicken kill. Oh, we just got roasted with cheese. Holy shit! Not that bad though. Not that bad. That laser blasted me. But we're basically at the part where the Phoenixes told us, there's this evil robot, Cat-Lon, still exists somewhere in the Ashlands, and he has tasked us with destroying him. Once we've managed to destroy Cat-Lon, we basically have saved the world from every force the Holy Nation considers evil. There's still going to be heretics that need to be purged here and there, but that's more of a long grinding process. I don't know if we want to necessarily continue. Maybe if that's something you're interested in, let me know if we want to keep going with this playthrough, but I think it's kind of time to change it up. I think we're going to look at a smaller group of people, a very different playthrough, and maybe even holding back on some of the OP stuff, like, for one, having a smaller group, like I said, but two, maybe not having everyone have a certain quality of weapon and armor, or at least if we do, they have to go and get it. So there's a certain amount of earning it rather than just making a fortune selling bandanas and then making whatever armor we could possibly want, making whatever weapons we could possibly want without even having to put the industry of a base into it. I think we want to focus more on individual characters just becoming so strong and so capable that they're able to get the job done, or maybe even playing a group of characters that are just strong from the get go, but it's a small group. Like maybe I could go and train up 10, 15 people till they're extremely good. I just didn't want to get bit in the ass by these bats the whole way there. But train them up, get them to where they're fairly advanced, because it's something you can do even unmodded in Kenshi. You can get yourself to at least 80-90 strength, 80-90 dexterity, 80-90 attack. What are they yelling about? I didn't catch what they were yelling about. Eyes? Oh. Oh, no. So they were telling a story about the Forbidden Zone and how they'll suck out your eyeballs. And then Shar said all in favor, or no, what was it? Cletus said all in favor of no talking, say aye. And everyone was like, yeah, me. Some of the goofy conversations you'd end up seeing. Oh, you know what? We haven't destroyed the hivers. We may not be done with the robots. The hivers are like another really big no-no for the Holy Nation. We might have to go see how we fare against them too. But it'll depend, unless, if even one person is like, hey, no, I would really want to see you conquer everything with these guys, I can. It also could be something I just revisit at a later date. We come back to see us actually conquer everything, but it's not really. There won't be much to it. It's just going to be watching me walk right over towns like they're nothing. Like this fight with these bug guys will give you a small idea of just how silly it's going to be. Because they're obviously we outnumber them dramatically, but like we're going to outnumber almost everything we encounter dramatically. At least in the Ashlands, there's a good chance we're going to find numbers to match our own. I did try out turning the names off when I was recording, and I think I liked that. So let's see how we do there. It feels a little weird having no names over them. I can't tell them apart with them in their armor and everything, but we'll see how it feels. I feel like the names are the main thing hiding the combat, not so much the numbers. The numbers kind of give a quick hit of dopamine of, yeah, you got that guy, and you get a better feel of how much damage you did. Not so much from what you see when you hit them, but the number, because the numbers you understand how hard that is because you see what number is on your chest and your arm, and you know it can only go to negative 100 before you're either dead or lose that limb. If we get rid of those names and it's just the numbers, instead of having to get rid of all of the UI like this, we can just get rid of the names specifically and see how that feels. It's just a little weird. I've always played Kenshi with the names, so it's just a little strange. Ugly beak ones? Looks like we're going to fight a lot of these hivers anyway, even though we're going through Gray Shelf. I thought they were mostly in the Royal Valley, but it looks like there's plenty of them in Gray Shelf too. Beak nose, snap it off. These guys are crazy. And how suicidal do you have to be to attack a group this large with like 4 dudes? I don't care how awesome you think you are, that's just insane. The more I think about it, though, if I was going to have an army to conquer the world, it would probably be these guys. Like, just straight up run over the world. We'll see how Cat-Lon goes. If it's a tough fight, people lose limbs, we might retire it there. Who knows? I'm torn. I think this playthrough we got so overpowered so fast, it was really pretty anticlimactic other than taking the stone golem. And she just, it was only a problem because we tried to run away against people who can run as fast or faster than us while trying to capture her instead of just duke it out and fight. And that's why we took so much damage from those guys. We were all running in a line, in a ball, right next to them, and just getting slashed. I think the next playthrough is going to be either a retired Leviathan hunter, uh, a retired tech hunter, new tech hunter, something like that. And we'll either start with one guy who's already pretty dang good, or we'll start with the normal wanderer start. Because I don't like starting with the crappy robotic limb. That's just lame. But then I want to get one guy for each May 2 weapon. And even the ones that there normally isn't a May 2 version. Because we can craft those ourselves. But we're not going to build up an army like this and give them all Edge 3 weapons or better. we're going to just have a small team that's not even the normal squad limit. And I don't mean like one for each Mei-2 weapon that exists, because I think there's several Mei-2 Wakazashis, but just one that has a Wakazashi, one that has this pole arm, that pole arm, things like that. But I would include it for the Mercenaries Club, probably not the regular lead pipe that people get beat up with by slavers, but the Jeets, um, all of those weapons. And I think it would be, it should probably be a Shek that I give the Fragment Axe to, but I think I'm going to do a Plank for the Shek, or a Falling Sun for the Shek, and do Beep with a Fragment Axe and the best Industrial Lifter's arms we can. And my thought is, the Shek, I could have him not wear any armor and attack at the maximum speed with just a ton of toughness. But Beep needs armor and toughness just to stay alive. Beep gets killed so easily. It's not just his limbs. Even if you replace his limbs, he's only got 75 on all of his body parts, including head, chest, stomach, all that. So he just dies super easy. So I'd really like to see him in full heavy armor, probably samurai armor, since he can wear a full set and he's immune to acid anyway. We are actually very specifically after Cat-Lon, and we know we can shred spiders. We can come back for them. We are going right past the skin bandits, though. So if we see them, we'll definitely eradicate them, but we don't know. We would headcanon, we don't know they have a leader here. We've got a very specific objective from the Phoenix, who hadn't even really wanted us to go after the United Cities originally. Guys, come on. You gotta stay together. I also remember, too, how hard it is to get into the Ashlands and get to Cat-Lon. I'm gonna try and start the fight. This is supposed to be the grand finale, so we're gonna start the fight by finding Cat-Lon. What are these guys? Oh, Legion Scouts? Well, we know what to do with those. Yeah, I like that. The names are out of the way, but you still see the damage numbers. I think that looks really good. Oh, there's a lot more of them too. Oh, these are the skin bandits. So these are dangerous to fight. I mean, for us, it should be fine. But man, if someone goes down, they will immediately stop what they're doing, like the cannibals do, and scoop them up and bail. But the difference is they're gonna go stuff them into a locked peeler. So that guy's odds of living once he gets locked into that are so low, it's scary. If they successfully get him into the peeler and your team can't absolutely squash them without any question at all, you might not get that dude back. At the very least, you might lose his armor and some limbs. Let them do their little healing shuffle there. And I remember something about having to go to this side first, so we're going to start with that. But we're going to start the fight with Cat-Lon by letting him say his spiel and letting his army charge in. We're going for the full maximum head-to-head fight. I honestly don't know if we have enough people for that to be reasonable, or it's certainly not smart. But our only goal is to kill Cat-Lon, and we're a bunch of religious zealots that think Cat-Lon is the source of all evil. We would gladly die to get rid of him. seems like we're not getting attacked. I wonder why we keep forming a line like that. Squad. AI. Oh, military. It still should be like this, I don't think. Come on, guys. Stay grouped up. We haven't lost anybody yet. I think we're heading the right way. I think. Very hard to tell. We discovered the ominous place. Gonna run and straight through a wall, apparently. Oh boy, we have some heat on us. Well, they dropped the chase. We'll take that for now. We've got an objective to achieve. We're totally focused on getting Cat-Lon. Oh, that is not it. What in the world? Well, I'm guessing we're gonna have to fight these guys just to be able to get to him, which is kind of weird. But let's get out here in the open. You almost need a slow motion mode. Holy cow, we just ripped through them. It wasn't even close. Who do we have that's in here? Maybe we'll turn names on for a second. Do we have people that went upstairs? We do. Like, what are you guys doing? Alright, I think we're just gonna let it ride. I think we have to go through here to get to him. So we'll just let everyone fight. Whoa. That robot got absolutely annihilated. Yeah, they're running away. Let's get everybody up here. We're doing so much damage, even with the armor they have on. Come on, guys. We don't need to do all this. We need to get grouped up. Got one or two guys down. Apparently just potato. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You guys are stuck. Of course you are. Alright. It looks like we actually have everyone. That's kind of the main reason I like having the names on. Making sure you have everybody can be important. Alright. So this is where we just were. I think this is Cat-Lon's area. Said he had to thrall them all for treason. What was the point of it all? He's big monologuing. Have you tried looking after the humans? Their capacity for evil is crazy, isn't it? That lantern that dude has on is bugging. Chill. No, dude. Stop it. Okay, so it's on. On like Donkey Kong. He's ready. He's just screaming. Oh, he hurts. Guys, attack him. There's too many of us. We have to, like, get out of there. We can't just stand in that tiny little room and get clobbered. Oh man, he is devastating us. $95 with minus 112. He still hit him for 95 damage. Oh, he is just clubbing us. Oh, he does so much damage. He's not even looking that bad. Come on, man, get in there. We got some of our stronger guys in there now, not just a bunch of noobs, but still. He just keeps wide sweeping and cutting us up. One of our guys is on the ground still fighting. Who is that? Terrence is on the ground still fighting. Giving it everything he's got. Man, he did 0 damage to Cat-Lon. It's terrifying. Can you imagine if they just had like 3 or 4 more of this guy? We would be toast. He's hurting us badly. And apparently there's a robot or two coming. Oh, he's starting to have trouble swinging his sword. There we go. We got him. Nope. Everybody come back here and medic. There's a few robots that popped up over here, it looks like. Oh, just one. Do we have people in there that need help? We do. We've got people that are going to be down for a minute. Lots of squad 2 got knocked down. Question is, did we get everybody? Yep, looks like we picked up everybody. Mad Cat-Lon's still alive. And this is his weapon. This is what he was just carving into us with. I wonder what the Phoenix is going to say now. That's kind of the next thing, is to see if he has anything to say. I was hesitant to say anything, but I think we just captured Cat-Lon without... We still had to fight the big friggin' army because we went the way we came through. I don't think you can go back out this way, can you? But we had to run through a ton of his minions just to even get here. Yeah, it doesn't seem like we can go any other way except back through. Come on, guys. What we don't really want to do is deal with any more robots. This is probably the one area I think needs the most work, where you just kind of glitch through stuff, and the pathing is god awful. I think if somebody could make this place more traversable, it would go a long way. But I mean, Cat-Lon went down. We didn't lose any limbs. That's what I was worried about. Is I'd either get a "so and so has died" message, or limbs just flying everywhere. But our armor seems to have done a good job protecting us. We took some damage, and especially with our newer guys that don't have a ton of toughness, I was definitely concerned they could lose a limb or something like that. Yeah, there's more robots there we could fight, but we killed Cat-Lon. That's kind of what we came here for. A lot of us are so injured that we'd basically be guaranteeing we'd die. We'd either get killed or lose a limb. And if you lose a limb, it's game over. You can't be a fighter in the Holy Nation anymore. Well, we came back from the Ashlands alive. Speaking of alive, yeah, it looks like Cat-Lon's gonna live. Question is, will the Phoenix have any unique dialogue for us having that? Share your skin? No, I don't think we're gonna share our skin, man. We're out of here. Are they gonna catch up to us? Looks like they might. Rather not deal with you, dill holes. Doesn't look like I get that choice, though. Doesn't seem like it's much of a problem. No, I knew it. We dropped somebody. So kind of like we thought. I mean, we took out the same thing that my unmodded group did, but in just full melee without hardly a scratch on us. We didn't have that extra fight on the way out, but it really wouldn't have meant as much. And we took Cat-Lon in actual melee combat. Might have had to wildly outnumber him and throw a lot of the new guys at him first, but we still took him. This is not where we want to deal with the hive either. Of course, now that we're running through injured, there's a ton of them waiting for us instead of just a handful. Yep. Yep. No, guys, no. We're not looking for more trouble. We just got a little bit of a long run home. I did most of the run out here on my own, but now that we're live, y'all get to come with me for it. Leave me alone, you dang gorilla. Was that a single solitary hiver? Two of them? Crazy. Just throwing their lives away. Looks like we're gonna have a few confrontations with these ugly bugs. Really, all that's left for us to do is heal up, talk to the Phoenix, and maybe consider making the same kind of march on the Hive. What we could do if we really wanted it to be interesting is capture the Hive Queen for study. Maybe we go after the Southern Hive Queen just to have her for actually studying, trying to figure out and interrogate her. A little bit of an inquisition against the bugs. Stupid beak things just won't stay down. Did we lose anybody? I was gonna say, you would have to be crazy to come after me, Mr. Beak Thing. It's too slow, but it's trying to. It's that injured. Oh. We did lose some people somewhere on a tree. Let's try this again. This is the other thing that's kind of annoying about these big groups is that they have more trouble going across the map together than a smaller group would. And I can kind of fix that by having them walk instead of run. It does tend to help, but I don't want to be here all night doing a Lord of the Rings set, just walking and walking and walking. I don't know why they're splitting off, but it's not going to hurt anything. They went a totally different way, and from the looks of it, a much slower way. It is harder to tell when somebody just stops following when you don't have names on, too. I think maybe I can assign a key to change that on and off. That would be pretty nice. But at least while we're doing this big run, this is a lot easier to be able to see and make sure we've got everyone. Yeah, apparently our whole team's not very big fans of the Shek. They just think they're a bunch of barbarians and jerks. But at this point, we've taken down the United Cities, Cat-Lon, the Sheks, the Flotsam Ninjas. There's only like smaller factions and smaller cities that we can really deal with, other than the Hive. We do have the Hivers to contend with. Why would you go through the water? I don't want to go through the water. That's probably got to be the biggest thing people are going to want for Kenshi too, is just all this where they run separately, some of them randomly go through water. It just it's kind of like something that would be a huge improvement. Like if you wanted to charge me $30 to completely fix the travel in this game and make there be way more traversable paths in general, I would pay it. Like if I could just fix making running across the map suck so much less, I would take it. I would gladly pay for that. I've put thousands of hours into this game and I'll probably put thousands more into it. It's just infinite fun. There's a million different ways to do a playthrough. And I haven't even come close to doing them all. I've only used maybe a handful of the weapons. I know there's some that, you know, once your character has enough stats are just better than others, but I think you'll find that if you have a super well trained group and they have pole arms or something that just kind of attacks faster naturally and has that small whipping animation like a katana does, I think there's room to say that that might be more effective for large groups. You know, you might, at least, especially for dealing with enemies where you outnumber them, but they're stronger than you are. Not gonna worry about cows. Those cows give us problems. They're just becoming dinner. Maybe we should go to Tengu's vault and help Igor figure out how to get to our base. Actually, let's head straight to Blister Hill. Because we haven't talked to the Phoenix since we took over, well, destroyed the United Cities, and now we're going to be showing up with a legendary robot in our hands. Well, we made it here. Back in Blister Hill. They know so many of our squad members by name, and they'll give us offerings too. This faction actually has the most praise, and I don't know if it's part of like a mod that let me start as a paladin, or the mod that lets me have better armor, or if it's in the base game, just because I've never... I just don't know. I have no idea if it's normally how they react when you get that much reputation with them. Well, apparently there's no more that can be done. He's still of the opinion that we're done. We'll go put Cat-Lon away. Huh. So I could make, I could increase my standing with his faction. But I think we'll just, loot him. Looks like he's still alive since we looted him from the cage, which is interesting. What? Why did you let him out? What? What just happened? Are you crazy? Nah, you let him out, you deal with him. What an idiot. And they're just gonna leave him there. Okay then. Oh boy. Well, that was a little weird apparently game bug. I can't believe they just set him free. Well, I was gonna say, if you aren't gonna deal with him properly, give him to me and we will. Yeah, let me have this guy. You guys suck. Too stupid to do what's needed to be done. We'll head home. We'll get this business taken care of. Well, this is what we do with robots. You're gonna be there a while, buddy. Almost everybody went and took a little nap. Tried to heal up some. That's why we have that big barracks. Everybody got healed up quick. Nobody's still hurt. You can hear it's gonna rain soon. So we do have the objectives that we could go after the Southern Hive. I want to say no, we haven't dealt with the Western Hive. So we haven't dealt with any of the Hivers. That'll certainly be interesting trying to deal with the Southern Hive and King. But I don't think the Holy Nation's going to react at all to us taking care of them. So maybe we could bring both of the queens here and put them up next to Cat-Lon. I say we go and hit Igor's assault since it's fairly close. We'll go here and see if we can actually get this fight to happen, and then we'll look at least conquering the Hivers. It wouldn't make sense to let them keep going. But we've probably got just enough time to go ahead and see if we can make if that's what that is, if that's Igor's assault that just kind of bugged and went back to Tengu's vault. It is interesting that all the people noticed we took down the we took down the leader of the United Cities, and the citizens recognized it, but the Phoenix didn't really want us to bother. So we can see there, random citizens know exactly who we are and what we've accomplished, which is pretty great. The game isn't really have like a quest system per se, although faction leaders can make requests of you, but the game still gives you that kind of recognition and renown when you do something extraordinary. Now we'll do a super cool, super casual march towards our enemy. Because that's really important. We've got to look cool while we do this, right? Just casually walk in with our army. That's pretty sweet. Oh, well, that didn't work. I guess I still had everyone selected somehow, so we broke formation. That's great. Charge, that's what happened. We yelled charge. Yeah, there he is. There's Igor. We're going to get this fight. You can just see us charging. Ugh, and I'm hanging back because I'm set to run slowly. Oh no. Guys, you left me behind. Yeah, these guys are just derpy and confused about where they're supposed to go. Alright, we will attack all. Center in on, what, Zep maybe? Since he's close. I wish we could center in on Igor. Igor kill, huh? Well, Igor's men didn't stand a chance. Let's see if he's as tough as they say. Nope, not even close. And he's got the May 2 Desert Saber. Look at those cheeks. You kidding me? This guy's beefy. For a hiver especially. Ooh, that ain't good. Somebody got chopped. Well, we took care of that. There's a few stragglers that keep wanting to get up and get slashed again, but they got handled. We didn't even have anyone get knocked out against them. Come on, guys, wrap this up. I don't know what I gotta do to get these guys to give up. Alright, we'll turn the names back on. My goodness. What are you guys doing? Go over there. This isn't hard. Is that everybody? Okay. Can we just leave now? Thank you. Ooh, that was loud. And now we have the famous Igor. We've already killed Tengu. But yeah, we ended up really overpowered, and I wonder if it's just the Paladin's Cross is that good for late game, or having too many guys. We had over double the normal maximum squad size, so that does count for something, I'm sure. And with the 5 attack slot mod, it makes it count even more. But I also wonder if Edge 3 weapons are just that good. It does make me want to make these like crazy overpowered guys that are just in the 90s in every stat with robot limbs, and they're wearing like assassin's rags, so they just get extra attack speed and damage. Get the martial artist bindings put on them too. I was wondering if they'd say something about us having Igor. No? Hmm. Well, the last time we took them a prisoner they weren't expecting, they set him free, so we'll come give him a new cozy home. And then, yeah, maybe we'll look at tomorrow. We'll take care of the hivers. But I feel like I go there, we slaughter them, it's super easy, we run back. So it's a lot of running, very obviously easy fights that feel like they have no stakes. We're just too strong. That was the point of the playthrough, but there's not a lot more to show you entertainment wise. If there wasn't so much running between each fight, like as a video, I'm sure it'd be great. And maybe that's what I'll do is record a video of the Holy Nation just running over every city. I'll import the save and reset all the dead NPCs and just go through it with the giant army, the Holy Nation attacks. That could make for something interesting. I do think we would have got more out of this if I had just stuck to the low science and we were stuck with Katoon 1 weapons. That might have made this, it would have made it a lot harder, that's for sure. We would have killed things a lot less quickly. I do think if we, especially with reactive world, bring the Hiver Queen back home with us, they will just bombard us pretty much forever until we give her back. Goodness, it's all of a sudden so loud. What are you guys doing? I don't get why the game's tweaking out so bad. And then for the Hiver Queens, we'll have to put them inside or they'll just come and unshackle her and rescue her. Where would we want that? We don't necessarily want it right next to the food, but maybe on either side in here. It's too bad we don't have anyone to turn this into. But look at this big ass bug. Like, dang. Benny, what are you doing? Okay. Had a little moment of confusion there. So, again, we'll probably go knock out the Hivers just because, but I don't know if I want to stream it or just record it. It's really hard to say. Um, I think the Well, I think we could get started on a new story, and that would be pretty good. So I'll just have to kind of see what everybody wants me to do, see if anybody has an opinion or not. And if you do, we'll go with that. I don't mind. I could go either way. But it just feels so. It's like we're walking Space Marines into combat, you know? Like when we're horribly outnumbered, sometimes in a cramped space, it feels rough. But for the most part, unless we're fighting a full on Primarch like Cat-Lon, it just doesn't matter. So we'll wrap it up there for today. We were able to accomplish a lot. We did get we got Cat-Lon taken into custody. We were able to defeat him pretty easily as far as without taking any major injuries. That's kind of the biggest thing. The fact that we were able to take him without any major injuries was really cool. I think I kind of want to get like one last nice shot of the base. It would have been cool to have a lot more guys than this arranged in ranks. And I do think that if we were leaving the base with everyone, that might be doable. But when we were just leaving the base and coming back, it was not great. But yeah, the Holy Nation has basically defeated all of their enemies other than the Hivers. Um, Even if we left the story here, the Hivers are going to leave us alone. You know, that's all the Phoenix really wants. Now we went the extra step, made sure Cat-Lon never comes back. We made sure the United Cities are never going to be a problem. The nobles are going to be too busy fighting over who gets to be the next emperor. So that's where we'll wrap it. And I will catch y'all tomorrow. Again, we're streaming in the evening still. I'm recording and working on some videos for different projects, like still YouTube stuff, but actually start putting out videos, not just streaming. And we'll see where those go. But I'll see you tomorrow afternoon. Later.